Everybody, and welcome to my channel. My name is Brittany. I post educational makeup related content, tutorials, hauls, all sorts of that kind of stuff. So if you like that kind of stuff, please consider subscribing and checking out my other videos. I post every single week on Tuesday at noon Pacific time. If you aren't already, go check out my other platforms on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I post more content like this and just more behind the scenes, and then I also usually post weekly polls. That way you guys have a say in what I'm posting. Today we are going to go over cut creases. The whole purpose of a cut crease is to make your look more dramatic and more sharp and bold. You can do a matte cut crease or shimmer. I like to do shimmers personally, but I also just really like sparkles, so there are different kinds of cut creases. There's the half lid, full lid, and the halo. Today I did the halo, and I also have tutorials on how to do the half lid and the full lid. So check those out right now. Alright, let's start. Okay, we are going to be going over, well, that was a mess. Okay. Today we are going to be going over a halo eye cut crease. And these are relatively easy, honestly. They look really nice, and yeah. I'm shopping today with my brother, hence the primer. We're gonna put our concealer on and cover all of these blemishes, and then we are gonna let it dry while we do our halo eye. Since we are going out, we're gonna kind of keep it relatively basic on the colors, but you can use really any colors that you want. This does work with the darker colors, purples and brights and bolds and stuff like that. So really whatever color you want, as long as you follow the basic principle, like, what's it called? As long as you... I don't know why my neck is breaking out so bad lately, but oh my gosh, it's horrendous. It hurts so bad. Just like any eyeshadow look, we are going to start with a base, whether that be eye primer for you or concealer. I am gonna use concealer. We're just gonna apply it like we normally do, all over the lid. And then we're gonna blend it in. Now that that's on, you can really do a halo eye with pretty much any colors as long as you follow the basic idea. I'm gonna be doing browns and golds. So to start, just like any other eye look, I am gonna do my neutral base just to set the concealer. I'm doing this just because I feel like it makes it look more natural. For a halo eye, that's where you have the dark on the outer, and then your center of your eye is gonna be the cut crease type thing, so it's gonna be lighter. I'm gonna do shimmer. You don't have to do shimmer. You can do matte colors if you want. That's entirely up to you, but the basics stay the same. So I have a tiny fluffy brush, and I'm gonna dip into my medium brown, and I'm gonna go on the outer corner, the inner corner, and lightly in the crease. I'm gonna try not to get it too much on my lid, since we want to try to keep that kind of light. The Michaela Glam Light palette, and we're gonna go into How You Doing. That's probably one of my most used shades in this entire palette. I love this palette. It's great. So we're gonna lightly tap on the outer corner, and then we're gonna bring it up ever so slightly, and then we're gonna put it on the inner corner too. And then we're gonna build it up until you get the shade that you want. As you can see, I'm tapping on the eyeshadow, and then up here I'm dragging it because I don't want it too dark, and then over here I'm going to tap it again. And then to buff it out, I'm going to go in little itty bitty circles because we don't like harsh lines up in here. Talked about in our contouring video, the first spot that you place your brush is going to be the darkest. You can see this one, I didn't do a very good job of keeping it out of the center, so I'm just going to go and make this one even. Now that they're even, I'm going to get an even smaller little fluffy ball. We are going to very lightly with our brush go into Willow. It's a super dark very lightly and only on the tip of the brush, and then we are going to tap off the excess and blow it off. And then we are going to go really just on that outer and inner corner one more time. Once we have that color kind of really packed on there, we're going to go back in with our other brush and we are just going to buff out those harsh edges. That's done. Now it's time for the cut crease magic. Ready? So with the cut crease, you can take any primer, concealer, or makeup remover you want. I'm gonna take, like I did earlier, I'm gonna take a flat round brush and I'm gonna dip it into my concealer that I put on my hand very lightly and kind of brush it down so that then there's not too much product on it. I'm gonna come in close so you can see. I'll put it on the center of my lid, like so. And then I'm gonna look up and it'll show me where my crease is. So it's telling me my crease is up here. So then this is the point of the rounded brush. You're gonna take the tip and you're just gonna go like that and drag it down. Like that and drag it down. And then you can make it as big or as wide or long, whatever you want. I don't like mine super wide, so I'm sticking with what I got here. Okay. And don't worry if you mess it up a little bit, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. You can fix it. And I'll show you how, because I messed it up on this side. I'm going to take that brush that I just used with the dark, and I am going to touch up this little outer corner and just on the top there, and then in the inner corner. This kind of just blends out the harsh line, that way it's not bam, you know? This side was not done. Okay, it was not done. And you honestly can repeat these steps as often or as much or as little as you want. Like if you get it on the first try, great. If you don't, redo it. Yeah. Okay. So you could leave it like that, have it be a matte look. I like shimmer, so we're going to add some shimmer. We're going to go into the Kylie palette and we're going to go into Buzz Off, this very gorgeous shimmer. And then we're going to tap it on just the center. Just right where you put the concealer or primer, or yeah. There you go. And then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna go in and touch up those edges one more time. There you go. There's your halo eye. You can do this with any color really. You can do purples, golds, blues, greens, whatever you want really. But yeah, you go dark. You have your transition shade, which is the first shade I use, and then you have your dark, and you put it in the corners and just barely over the top, and then you cut your crease and then put whatever you want over top of it. Pretty easy. Okay, I'm gonna go finish this look and I'll be right back. Alright, this is the finished halo eye look. I hope you enjoyed it. Hello everybody, we are going to be doing cut creases today. I am gonna do one version on this eye and one on this side. I already put all my primer on. I'm gonna put on my concealer since we are gonna do a full beat, cover the face and foundation, full face makeup, all that fun stuff. So I am gonna do that before I start my eyes. That way the concealer on my blemishes has time to dry. On this eye I'm gonna do a half lid cut crease, and on this one I'm gonna do a full lid cut crease. Okay, that concealer is on. Now we are gonna do our base, which is gonna be either eye primer, concealer, or whatever you decide. I use concealer, but you can use an eyeshadow primer if you prefer. Once that's done, you have to decide what kind of cut crease you're going to do. Are you going to do a half lid, full lid, or a halo? My eyeshadow looks, I always go in with a neutral color first, just all over my lid, so I'm going to do that. You have to decide what colors you want to do. So the base, the first layer that we're going to do is going to be the same on both sides. The crease is what's going to be different. So I'm going to this palette, and we are going to go into Chai Latte. Chai Latte, please, right here. We're going to lightly dip into the brush because I don't know how pigmented this is. We're going to tap off the excess. As you can see, there's a lot. Then we're going to start in our outer corner, and we're just going to tap it along. Go in little circular motions. This brush wasn't clean. So since we're doing a full cut crease on this eye, we're going to try to keep the lid as bare as we can. If you get some on there, that's fine. But on this one, we're going to bring it down to our outer corner as well. To the end of our eyebrow. This one on the half lid, I really want to pack it on that outer corner. I'm going to go into this palette, and we're going to go into the yellow shade. And this is a clean brush. I'm going to tap it off. I'm going to go over top of this. Very lightly. And in small circular motions. Side, I'm going to dip into my Kylie Sweet Light Honey, and then we're going to lightly go over the top. And what we're doing is just building dimension. I think I'm going to do the same thing over here, but I'm going to reverse it, so this will be like close to my crease and on my lid a little bit. And then we're going to wisp it out. Okay, now for the fun part. This is where it kind of varies. You can use concealer and then just cut your crease with concealer, or you can use an eye primer, or you could use makeup remover and just wipe away, start at the crease and then wipe away that inner part. That's kind of up to you how you want to do it. I usually use concealer just because I think it I don't know, it's easier for me and it's cleaner and it's faster, but it's completely up to you. But if you do use remover, use a primer or concealer as a base after you use that remover. That way you have a base for your next shade. And if you're using remover, you can either use a brush or a Q-tip. I would personally probably use a Q-tip. Are you going the concealer route or the primer route, you're going to want to use a brush. You want a rounded, flat brush like I have here, if you can kind of see it. Yeah. A round flat brush will do. And then you're going to, I put my concealer on my hand just because I find it easier. And then you're going to make sure you only get the tip, and then you kind of brush it out a little bit. That way you don't get too much. So there's two ways that you can do your cut crease. You can just look straight or raise your eyebrows and then just cut your crease wherever you want. Or you can do this trick that I will show you right now to find where your crease is. You're going to relax your eyebrows, which I'm very bad at. And then you're going to put concealer down here. And then you're going to look up, and then you see that? That's my crease. And then you're going to go in with your brush and just touch it up and finish the line. It's not still wet, and you can go as far over or not as far, however you want. And now we're going to do the full. Same thing, except this one, we're going to make a little wave with it. So we're going to come clear out here. This one up a little bit with makeup remover wipes probably. I'll probably wipe this away real quick and then clean out the fallout on this side, and then we will move on. But I am going to touch up the base over here. Just a touch. And you can do this as many or as little times as you need. You could even go back in with eyeshadow if you didn't like it. And you could redo it. We're going to fill in this little bit on both sides. On this one, I don't really know what I'm going to do yet, so we're going to do this one first. So we're going back into this palette. We are going to go into Boo and Bee. And we have a fluffy flat brush. Rounded, fluffy, flat brush. I just tapped off the excess and it went all up in my face. And we are going to press it on this inner corner. Put this on the outer. Limoncello palette again, and then I am going to go back into that one yellowish color and put that in my inner. Going into the same palette, we're going to go into this shimmer right here. It's called Serenade. It's velvety and gorgeous, and we're going to place it on the inner corner on both sides. This one a lot more dramatic is if you added like a liner right there to like where you cut the crease to enhance that. I'm not going to do that today, but you definitely could and it would look very good. finish the rest of my face and I will be right back. Okay, so here is the final look for the half cut crease, half lid. And here is the full lid. I love doing cut creases. I think that it just enhances those looks, especially when you're dealing with lighter colors or like bold colors or bright colors or honestly any color. But if you're incorporating glitter or shimmer or something, I feel like cut creases really just help elevate that type of look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really hope that this video helped you guys gain more confidence in your ability to do a cut crease. If you did enjoy this content, please consider liking, subscribing. It's a free way to help me out and help me provide more content for you, because that's what I would like to do. If you weren't already, go ahead and check out my other platforms on Instagram and Facebook and all of that, and TikTok. I do post weekly polls usually. That way you guys have a say in the videos that I'm posting. Thank you guys. See you next time.